What if the hottest story in Formula One is about getting rid of heat? McLaren's relentless march to the front in 2025 has rivals scrambling, not just for lap time, but for answers. 5 victories from the opening 6 Grand Prix turned the papaya orange cars from hopefuls to favourites, and the paddock's chatter locked onto a chilling mystery. Why do their tyres stay cool when everyone else is cooking? Engineers, journalists and fans now measure the season not by tenths of a second, but by single degrees Celsius. The team that once won through aero efficiency may be rewriting the rulebook on temperature control, and every other contender suddenly looks one step behind. Everyone expected tyre carnage under the unforgiving Florida sun. Asphalt temperatures soared above 60 degrees Celsius, and strategists predicted 3-stop races. Instead, thermal cameras caught something baffling. The rear of the McLaren MCL39 read several degrees cooler than the competition. While Max Verstappen wrestled overheating rears, Oscar Piastri glided to victory, his rubber barely breaking a sweat. Moisture rings appeared on the McLaren wheel rims, condensation that should never have formed in that heat. Mechanics from 2 rival teams snapped covert photos. Data engineers pored over replayed footage frame by frame. The questions piled up faster than the laps ticked down. Was it a tyre construction quirk? A brake duct redesign? Or something no one had imagined before the lights went out? But the temperature tale was only the first clue. The real mystery lay inside carbon fibre shrouds no camera could pierce. And that is where suspicion began to boil. Phase change materials sound like science fair jargon, yet they power everything from rechargeable batteries to spacecraft heat shields. A PCM absorbs a huge burst of energy at its melting point, turning solid into liquid while locking the local temperature in place. Picture an ice cube that draws warmth from its surroundings until the instant it collapses into water. Now, imagine microcapsules of an engineered wax doing the same at roughly 200 degrees Celsius, exactly the range where brake discs glow orange. Embed that lattice inside a brake drum, and every press of the pedal is cushioned by an invisible sponge for heat. The tyre rim, which shares thermal conduction through the wheel hub, never climbs into the danger zone, so the rubber surface stays inside its optimal window. Crucially, a PCM has no pumps, no pipes, no valves. It is passive, a quiet passenger immune to the liquid cooling ban that outlaws moving fluids. In regulatory terms, it is a material choice, not a system. That loophole is as elegant as it is infuriating for the chasing pack. If the theory is right, McLaren is not merely cooling parts, it is buying tyre life whenever the driver hits the brakes. 10 extra laps of grip over a Grand Prix distance can swing a championship. No wonder rivals feel a chill down their spines. Red Bull wasted no time. Within minutes of Parc Fermé in Miami, their sporting director filed a request for clarification with the FIA's technical department. Inspectors swarmed the rear corners of both McLarens, probing for hidden channels, weighing brake discs, even scanning with handheld ultrasound devices. After 2 exhaustive hours, the governing body declared everything legal. No illegal fluids, no concealed pumps, nothing beyond the accepted mass allowances for brake assemblies. Yet legal does not always equal understood. Inspectors cannot cut open proprietary components without a full protest, and no team wants to risk losing a protest fee unless they are certain. Christian Horner publicly tiptoed, calling McLaren's form worthy of attention, while Helmut Marko lobbied privately for a technical directive that would outlaw passive phase change elements if they proved performance relevant. Zak Brown, smiling like a poker champ, reminded doubters of the formal protest procedure. Put it in writing or move on. The grin said the rest. Controversy is not new to brake systems. Remember Ferrari's brake-by-wire calibration saga in 2019? Or Mercedes now banned dual-axis steering in 2020? Every breakthrough rides the knife edge between ingenuity and infringement. McLaren's cool drums may simply be the next chapter in that never-ending rulebook duel. On paper, the MCL39's straight-line speed is only mid-pack. On Sundays, however, the stopwatch tells a different story. From Melbourne to Shanghai, to Sakhir and Jeddah, McLaren's race pace follows a ruthless pattern. Maintain contact early, extend stints while rivals pit or fade, then unleash pace on fresher tyres. Piastri triumphed in 5 of the first 6 rounds. Lando Norris added victory number 6 in Suzuka. Drivers talk of the car breathing under them, an eerie sense that grip does not ebb with rising laps. Onboards reveal fewer steering corrections, near 0 lockups, and minimal wheel spin in the final 10 laps, when fuel loads are low and tyre wear is typically worst. Data leaked from GPS overlays suggests McLaren loses half a kilometre per hour on main straights, but gains 0.3 of a second through long high-load corners where tyre temperature normally spikes. Consistency, not fireworks, is crushing the competition. And it all circles back to heat. Ideally, a race tyre lives between 90 and 120 degrees Celsius. Push above that window and rubber overheats. Drop below and grip falls away. McLaren's rumoured phase change window coincides perfectly with this magic band, flattening heat peaks like a governor on a power plant. No wizardry on earth is more valuable than that. Copying aero parts is sometimes as simple as photographing a floor edge or scanning a front wing end plate in the pit lane. Replicating chemistries hidden inside a brake drum is a different universe. Even if another team identified the base compound, they would need the exact melting point, capsule diameter and binder resin to match McLaren's heat curve. Manufacturing micro-capsules that survive brake disc temperatures, often above 1000 degrees Celsius at peak, demands specialist foundries, vacuum casting and metallurgy contracts most outfits would struggle to secure mid-season. Then comes the risk factor. A PCM that fails to re-solidify between brake events adds unsprung weight, shifts balance and ruins handling. Competitors must weigh the development time against the calendar. Introduce a rushed copy in Singapore and it fails. Points lost forever. Worse, an internal failure could spill liquefied material onto carbon-carbon brake faces, causing unpredictable friction or structural damage. So the field watches, trapped by cost caps and supply chain lead times, while McLaren quietly extends its margin. The scandal may be whisper quiet, but its impact hammers home every time papaya orange sails past scarlet red or navy blue halfway through a stint. The FIA rarely rewrites rules mid-season unless safety is threatened. Even if an anti-PCM directive appeared tomorrow, enforcement would require laboratory confirmation, a sign-off period, and probably a grace window for teams to replace parts already in production. By that stage, half the races could be in McLaren's pocket. Ferrari has reportedly loaded a passive compound simulation program into its Maranello hardware rigs. Mercedes has increased telemetry overlays to compare brake temperature profiles minute by minute. Aston Martin's technical department invited a university materials science researcher for a confidential talk during the Imola weekend. Work is happening, but time is merciless. If suppliers cannot deliver new drums before the European triple header, the title fight might be mathematically over before the flyaways. Even if rivals achieve parity in autumn, the Constructors' Championship could already be decided on aggregate heat savings delivered months earlier. That is the brutal arithmetic of a 24-race calendar. Should concrete evidence surface that McLaren's solution redistributes mass or breaches Article 3.14, which forbids any device primarily designed to vary weight distribution while the car is in motion, the penalties would be severe. Loss of points, exclusion from events, even suspension of championship entries sit on the sanction menu. Precedent is clear. Renault's mass damper system in 2006 was banned mid-season, despite passing earlier checks. Honda lost points in 2005 for running a dual-chamber fuel tank deemed illegal only after a rival protest. Yet, history also shows that innovations later outlawed can still influence design for years. The double diffuser of 2009 was eventually regulated away, but it reshaped underfloor philosophy. The blown exhaust era of 2011 died, yet teams still chase similar vortex behaviours. If McLaren's brake brilliance survives scrutiny, it will spark a new arms race in thermal management. If it dies, the lesson will echo across design offices forever. Invisible temperature control is the new ride height trickery. Either way, the saga guarantees drama beyond the asphalt. Lawyers may yet decide as many points as drivers. Tyre performance wins modern Grands Prix, and nothing manages tyres like perfect temperature control. Whether McLaren has uncovered a legal masterstroke or skirted dangerously close to the edge, they have forced every other team to rethink the very physics of braking. In Formula One, speed captures highlights, but heat may capture the crown. Keep watching those thermal cameras, those post-race glances, and every slow-motion shot of shimmering rims, because somewhere inside that glowing carbon lies the answer to who will hoist the trophy in Abu Dhabi. Until someone proves otherwise, McLaren's mysterious cool has already rewritten how victories feel and perhaps how championships are won.